Saw the same thing there. Thank you for covering me there. Welcome everybody to our, what month are we in? Oh, November, sorry. It's been, you know how many meetings I have per day? It's just like Groundhog Day. I have a meeting at night, during the day, it's all the same after a while. Live on screen. Welcome everybody to our virtual meeting for November 2020. We just had our second, was it Friday the 13th? Oh, nothing bad, because if you remember the first Friday the 13th, that's when we went to lockdown. If you need a date, it'll be Friday the 13th, 2020 was when we went to lockdown. So we all been stuck at home since then. I hope you guys had a great first winter storm that we had so far. I hope you guys didn't get flooded out or hailed on like we did. If you see some of my Facebook pictures, we had about a good, quarter inch of hail that's hailed in our back and front yard. So it's kind of crazy. I'm not sure you guys had the same weird weather that 2 weekends ago. So we do have some announcements. Shirley, would you like to make their announcements for our show and auction?
We're having a show on January the 6th. Thanks, Tom. And then I'll send out a flyer and an announcement in the newsletter. The information for showing a tree and for the auction will go out about next week. I'll send it out as separate information. And for people who don't get the newsletter electronically, I'll send it out as a hard copy. And Mary is doing the guest people.
So its show is February 6th, correct? February 6th?
Yeah, February 6th. Pictures, we're taking photographs on January 9th and 16th, and that information will be in the packet.
So if you have a tree for it, a winter silhouette tree ready to be shown, is a great time at this point in time to start setting up and then trying to get that manicured, especially mossed, and of course having an accent plant ready. Again, if you don't have your accent plant or stand, Lindsay or myself or someone else in this club will help you provide with that stand to make that presentable. Anything else that we need to talk about?
They need to bring their accent plant.
Well, just in case if you don't have one.
Yeah, what we would maybe have extra stands to make it pretty.
So any questions about the auction and our virtual show that'll be coming up on February the 6th?
Okay, but you need to send to Lindsay telling him that you're planning to show a tree and what kind of tree.
Lindsay, do you want pictures? Lindsay, do you want pictures and sizes, or do you care?
No, from you, you're okay.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Mike, man.
It's people. I want pictures if it's the first time you're showing.
Or you have a crappy tree like me, so you must show pictures to prove your worth.
Where are we taking our trees to set them up for photos?
My house.
Your house, okay.
So to give people a background, if you're wanting to show a tree and get them photographed this year, we're doing a what we call a rapid setup. So we'll have two stations set up. So while one tree's being set up, the other one's being photographed. So we have a 2-tree setup at any one moment. It'll be at Shirley's house. We're aiming to have about 35 trees total. So which means a two-day photo shoot having about 18 trees per day. That gives everybody about an hour per station, or at each station for the photograph. So set up, if you need to set up, you come in late, whatever, at least it gives us some time to get your tree all set up and photograph.
And the information for the show has asked what time slot you want to bring your tree in, and then we'll let you know what time slot to come in so everyone doesn't come at the same time. It'll be more clear when you read the paper.
Is your nephew going to photograph again?
Garth is my cousin, yes.
Yeah, okay, sorry, yes.
That's okay.
He does good. He does really good work. I appreciate him a lot.
He does. He's beautiful.
If you happen to need muscle power, let me know. I'll show up and help out.
I was gonna ask you in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. No,
Let me
but
know. I'll be
more
there for you.
January.
Talking about recruitment, we just sprung on Joe that he's the new president for the next, was it 3 years?
Yes.
Yay!
Yay!
So we do have a new president installed. So president's job has slightly been changed. It has merged with the program chair. So the program chair and president is now one position. Looking at our current roster of people, I think Joe has graduated to become president now. So President Big Joe there for next 3 years. Our goal is to
30 years.
30 years.
3 more years.
30 years.
I live that long.
Hey, Joe, that's another thing you need to put on your plate now.
We had this planned out for what, 6 months ago, and we just probably sprung the trap now finally.
Yes.
It was 2 weeks ago.
We had this plan for 6 months. We just didn't tell you. It's like 2 weeks ago.
That's what happens when I miss a meeting, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Meeting too.
Basically.
Beware when you miss a meeting.
Oh, why don't you? I'll make some tea for you.
So our goal for our club is really to empower our members. We really want to have our senior members, in this case, to really take a back seat and have our younger members really take over in the next couple of years. So our goal is really to train the newer members and younger members to really take over the club in the future years. That just really has a chance to grow our club, and that's really one of the goals that we have for our club, is to really groom the next generation so they can really take over the club when we're ready to be sunsetted out too. So that's really the goal, to keep this club alive and running in the long run. So that's kind of the transition that we're going through right now. So just kind of bear with us. I know this is a weird online format, but it's really to keep this club running and really keep this club growing. So that's kind of the reason we're doing that. Okay. All right, for tonight we are doing, any other announcements I need to make? Anybody have good news that we all need to hear and cheer for?
Our anniversary, 32 years.
Yeah, Lindsay, yeah, 32 years.
Congratulations.
Today.
Anybody else? I loved it. No, too bad. It's Debbie's already taken.
Oh, it's Mike. Wait, I missed it. Hi, Mike.
You're too late, Mike.
Oh, by the way, Kevin just got married. Kevin's online somewhere. Oh yeah, there's Kevin. Kevin Armenta just got married about a month ago. Let's congratulate.
Congratulations,
Wow.
Kevin.
Wow.
I highly recommend it.
Hey, Lindsay,
Yeah.
don't worry, I got more than I can handle.
Well,
Hey, Mike,
be flashing those signs you won't.
Mike, gotta be careful. You have a mirror behind you, so we can make sure you don't stand up, or you're not wearing anything, shorts. You gotta be careful. This is why I have a white background behind me. Any other announcements? Anybody have announcements to make? We're good. Oh, someone's drinking there. Look at that. All right, so tonight's round robin. If anybody have any things to show off, any questions you have, we are going into winter dormancy, so it's great for other people have questions for that. This is a great time for looking at bugs, because your leaves are all falling down. We'll start. Anybody have a hand that wants to start off? Oh, there we go, Mitch. Go for it, Mitchell.
Yeah, you can call me Mitch. I don't know why it shows up as Mitchell, but
Oh, because you signed in as Mitchell.
There it is. Okay, all right. Well, what's supposed to be happening right now with my deciduous trees? I have a large and old Japanese maple that I thought might have been dead a year ago. I've just let it run, but it's done pretty good. But it's not changing colors. It's not dropping leaves. It's just hanging out. And I've also got an Oriental liquid amber that Lindsay helped me save after I over-fertilized it. That's essentially doing the same thing. It's not showing any signs that fall is here. the liquid amber might be something that you might want to be able to, I might want to try to be able to show it at some point in time. But again, it's not doing anything. It's just sitting there. And it's been hailed on. It's had the low 40 temperatures that we've had. And what's up with that?
Well, my maple trees all have their leaves still. Some have changed colors a little bit, but then they got green again. So I think it's just the weather. This year, the weather has been really, really crazy.
Yeah, oriental one, and it's perfectly green. And I have a liquid amber, and now its leaves are almost all gone. So go figure.
Is there a deadline when I should just defoliate it and move on?
My window is always Thanksgiving weekend. That's when I start plucking all the leaves off. If I don't get it by Thanksgiving, I'll get it by Christmas, just to pull all the leaves off. Because right now my maples are green. I mean, they're dark green. I'm really shocked because usually right now they should be turning color, fall color. But this year, I'm not sure because of the move or the temperature, or I might heavy fertilize. But it's full leaves. It's green too. I mean, I got leaves are being pushed too, so it's kind of weird. And I do see the buds being set for next year already too. So do you see buds being set for next year, like the little red buds on the end of the petioles?
On them, I haven't looked for that to see, but I will.
That's really a good telltale sign that it's about ready to go to dormancy. Is where the swelling of the buds. And that's usually my telltale sign that it's ready to go winter dormancy. And I can pluck the leaves and not even worry about anything at all.
Okay, so if I see the buds, then I can go ahead and get those off of there and begin looking at some kind of structure for next growing season.
Yeah, and it just forces into dormancy. That's another reason why I pluck it. So if the weather's really weird, if I show Lindsay and some of the other teams that my ume just bloomed. I mean, really, it just bloomed like last month, like early this month. It was just really weird.
Wow.
Okay.
So,
sometimes, if just an aside, sometimes if you fertilize, I've noticed on my trees, if you fertilize continually and too late in the fall, you'll have less coloring up, and it'll stay green longer. So. I think if you, on a normal basis, if your trees are healthy, you probably want, and you do want the color, you want to stop fertilizing by maybe early October or before.
I put my last application of fertilizer on November 1st.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it may be the fertilizer. Also, that we had some warm weather and cool weather, warm weather. So it probably is hanging on there longer, but that fertilizer helps those leaves to stay on there longer and green.
Okay. Thank you.
thanks, Mitch. Anybody else wants a question? Gio, go for it.
Good luck.
You're on mute.
First, I wanted to show you guys my desert rose that your advice from last week worked out. Crazy weather or not, but it's giving me new buds. That's kind of nice.
Wow. Enjoy. Yeah.
Turns out that you're right. If you ignore it, it blooms. The weirdest plant ever. But my real question, I talked to Lindsay about this earlier, but maybe the other members wouldn't know, and it's actually pertinent to earlier. You guys were saying that the members should bring their little plants, accent plants, right? I struggle keeping those alive so much. Any advice on that? Of course, Lindsay said, keep it in the bigger pot, portion it out when I'm ready for about the show. But is there any more to it that anybody would like to add? Because, eventually I want to show a tree and I definitely need to have accent plants ready.
What kind of accent plants do you want?
Oh, anything with a flower would be nice. A nice little bloom right before winter would be really neat.
John's asking what type of plant they are.
Right now, I'm actually in the market of buying, more accent plants towards keeping, because I've kind of killed everything except what Tom gave me, which is the it looks like a cookie. I forget the name of the plant. And I do have some irises, and I also have a couple of lilies. Those have kept alive, but not worthy of showing, to be honest, just yet.
Lindsay, do you put regular bonsai soil in with your accent plants? Because I add a little potting soil with mine.
It's 80% potting soil and then just about 10% lava rocks at the very bottom because, you know, for drainage.
Yeah.
Well, I put anything in there that's because they're sort of shallow and sort of sensitive to drying out. I put things in there that's going to hold the moisture longer in the day, but still have good drainage.
So, Gio, I have, oh yeah, so you guys haven't seen this yet. I have a video on, from Fred Murahara when I visited his house in San Diego. So what he does, he puts it in a sand tray. And I've seen people do this very often too. So they'll do it like a shoebox, a plastic shoebox. They'll fill it with sand and they'll bury the pot in the sand itself, so it has a bigger pot. You're basically over potting in a colander, so it keeps that moisture for a longer period. So that's what some of the tricks that a lot of people do, especially the shohin trees. I've seen this trick with shohin. I've seen this with other people that have done it with like a water table. So there's different methods that you could use to keep those accent plants alive and your smaller shohin trees alive at the same time.
Does anybody have any suggestions for plants that I should be buying for accent plants, particularly that would go well with with deciduous trees? Because I'm going to have to buy some pretty soon.
So a lot of good. I mean, think about seasonal kinds of plants that go with fall trees, and try to find things that match up that way. It just helps overall look of stuff. That's my kind of take on it. Rattlesnake grass is a really good accent plant for deciduous trees. And it's pretty easy to grow. It's real hardy.
Gio, this is Manuel. I took a class in Riverside. Those the two ladies that were showing these mame type of plants in little pots that they made. And what it is that you really have to keep it covered with moss. You use regular soil, pack it in there, cover it with moss, and you have to keep it under shade. A little bit of sunshine in the morning is good, but just keep it under shade on a tray that keeps it moist. That idea of a sand box is a good idea. But that's how I kept it alive. I'm really lucky. I was going into this without any idea how to take care of it, and all 5 of those samples that I worked at kept from the workshop has stayed alive since that time in February of last year.
Good job.
Yeah, that's good. Good job. Yeah. It's hard
I'll look up your email from the roster, and then I'll send you pictures of the types of plants that they used in this workshop. It was really very helpful.
You want to send it to me, then I can send it to everyone in the club?
Oh yeah, okay, I'll do that, Shirley.
That'll work better.
Hey Gus, sometimes you want to, even though they might not look real pretty now, is to look at those types of maybe grasses that, go kind of dormant and look kind of bedraggled, because then that's like, looks like wintertime. So,
good point.
Don't discount any kind of wintry looking sort of perennials or grasses.
Okay. No, I'll keep an eye out for that, man. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gio, I'm going back to read John Naka's book, his very first book about accent plants. It's sort of like it's a small chapter, maybe like 3 pages about accent plants. He has one of them that caught my interest. It was a dandelion.
That's really cute. I like that too, cool. Tom. He has a dandelion that he took a picture of that's over 15 years old.
Yes.
Has a big old fat trunk on it, about the size of my, and it's about 4 inches long. And he has it in a little pot. It's a cracker.
And And they're tough because once you dig a dandelion up, they just die. So I'm not sure how you got to that point. I've been trying to, like, I find dandelions, like, let me dig this up, and then, like, you know, next day the thing's dead already. So it's something, it's kind of cool, especially it has that, you know, the seed pod on it. It's really cool for winter or for fall show because it really shows off that really uniqueness of the season.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of the dandelion, man. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I'll just research that. Thanks.
Anybody have a question? Anybody have a thing to show off?
I have a question. What do you use to cut pots down? There's a gallon pot and I want it to be half the height. What is the easiest way to cut the pot down?
A plastic pot?
Yes, plastic.
Oh, okay.
I use different things. What do you call it? The nippers, you know, like your hand nippers, like you would use for roses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It works very well because you have a steel lip on one end and you got the blade on the other. So
Mm-hmm.
that'll go all the way around the pot pretty good. You got to puncture it first. So make a good hole, like get a knife, make a good hole, and then go in through there with your all the way around with your clippers, and that works really good.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat.
I use a knife. I use a pocket knife, but I like.
Yeah, or a razor.
The reason why, though, here's a difference. If you have a lock blade or a fixed blade knife, the nice thing is with a good handle on it, you actually have quite a lot of control over it. And as long as you're cutting down, say, towards a table, it gives you the leverage, and it, quite honestly, it's easier on your hand. For me, I mean, you know, Joe's big and tough, right? But it can be hard to cut through some of those.
Yeah, some of them are pretty thick.
Yeah, so it's like if you have to have a really good pair of shears. So I like, and I know Gustavo does too. I just like using the knife.
Yeah. Once you get the hole started, you could use a bread knife. Works pretty good too.
Oh, serrated knife, in other words.
Yeah.
Serrated knife, it works good, Shirley.
If you have a Sawzall, that works excellent also.
There you go.
That's true.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. I had a question that relates to deciduous trees in fall and maybe even into winter a little bit. I've always, in all the reading on the literature on, bonsai and stuff, a lot of times they talk about fall pruning of deciduous trees and there's this kind of magic moment where the leaves are about to drop and the buds are being set, and this great time to do maybe some heavier pruning without the tree waking up or any of that stuff. And I've always struggled in our climate down here only because it's like barely winter, and it's like a lot of my trees are elms, the Chinese elms, that I feel like if I sneeze on them sometimes in the winter, they wake up and start budding out, and I got to start repotting and everything. So I'm just curious to hear from some of you and your own experiences in Southern California with, I guess particularly Chinese elm, but any deciduous trees. Like, where is that magic moment to do that heavier pruning in the fall or winter? Or what's your experience? Because I'm playing with it a little bit myself, but I would just love to hear from you. Does that make sense?
Well,
Did that question
okay,
make sense?
I'll start. It's always I kind of wait till most of the leaves, at least maybe 30 or 40% of the leaves have dropped. Because then it's well on its way to going dormant. And then once all the leaves, if you want to wait longer, that's okay too, because then you can see the structure.
Start again, Lindsay.
Oh.
You cut out.
Okay, so what I usually do is wait till maybe 30 or 40, at least 30 or 40% of the leaves have dropped. Then that the tree is well on its way to going dormant. I mean, you could wait till all the leaves drop. That's okay too. But then you could see the structure better when you're, this time of year for us, you don't want to prune your tree too much if you're going to put it in the show, because you want all those twiggy branches as much as possible. So, maybe you could wait till after our show and then do your pruning and thinning out. But you want that, those twigs to show if you're going to show it in our winter silhouettes. Yeah, I don't know if there's, I don't think once your tree and your bonsai pots have gone dormant, I don't really think it's going to encourage new growth to come out. It might be just the weather, but just pruning it's not going to really encourage a lot of new growth to emerge.
So, Nicholas, where do you live?
You're on mute.
Nicholas, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. That's my favorite Zoom move is to leave. Anyways, I also moved. I'm still in LA area. I went from Highland Park, northeast LA to Torrance, and it is actually a little bit of a different climate for sure. It's definitely cooler out here. But I think my trees were kind of thrown off by just the move and the shift.
So
because I've seen some odd behavior out of them too this year. So in LA, it was very. Sorry, go ahead.
This is mostly dry. The other is big drying. Yeah, but it's okay.
I live over by Whittier and Hacienda Heights area, and so it's already pretty cool over here. A lot of foggy, kind of wet mornings, and that's really helpful. But my elms haven't really dropped any of their leaves yet. They're just getting that where they're kind of still green and turning yellow at the tips and brown, and then they just. So generally by about Christmas time is a good time. I get like a little pancake compressor and just get back a ways and blow all the leaves off, and then go to town and kind of clean it up. I like Lindsay's approach where he says, you want to leave as much of the fine twigging on as you can. So if you've been pruning late in the season, right now you've got a lot of really fine twigs on there, and that's what helped make it really show nice. So if you're going to show it, just clean it up a little bit to give it shape and get rid of any uglier branches that might have grown that you couldn't see, and then later on you can push it back quite a bit so that you keep it compact.
Okay.
Generally, my trees start leafing out right around the end of February, first part of March.
Are you good? That's good.
Thank you. I did bring a tree. I was another one of my little root cutting elms situations. I need to get this down in the back, I think. It's kind of hard to see, huh? But it's a fun one. Or at least got this wild.
That's pretty neat.
It is really neat.
Yeah, it obviously needs a pot upgrade, but it's coming along.
Do you know Gabriel? He makes pots.
Yeah, totally. I haven't crossed paths with him in a while.
Yeah, he's got some pretty neat cylindrical round pots now.
Yeah, lots of good texture, huh?
Yeah, might be fun.
Yeah, this one's ready. Next spring. Good pot.
All right, thank you, Nick. Anybody else have a question or something to show off? Manuel, you're on mute, but yes, you can have the floor.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Can you see the tree?
Oh yeah, boxwood.
Okay. It's a Heartlandia boxwood.
Oh yeah.
Do I leave this as broom style, or do I wire it and spread the branches a bit?
Well, the structure is actually pretty broom style now, but
Yeah.
you know what you could do is you could spread the outer lower limbs to give it more spread. Yeah.
Like here?
Yeah, make those horizontal a little more.
Okay.
But keep the vertical main structure going up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Manuel, what kind of species is that again? Because
Harlandii boxwood.
Was it Harland? Was it the
Harland? Yeah, Harland. Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Where'd you get that at?
From Vicky.
Oh, do you have to take a loan out?
Yes.
Kinda. I couldn't resist it. It wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
It was under $100.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, that's not bad.
You know, that's a slow growing tree anyway, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Anybody else have something to show off or a question?
I got a question.
Go for it, Herbert. Nice to meet you, Herbert.
Hi everybody. I'm Hubert. This is my first meeting, so.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah. Officially not a member yet. So I go to your website and it says membership form for 2020. There isn't one for like 2021 yet, but I thought I'd.
It's okay. You can still use the same form.
I thought I'd join. So anyway, I'm new at this. So I've been at this like just around the start of or midway through the pandemic. It's something that I wanted to do so maybe 10 years ago or so, but then just got busy with the kids, and stuff, work, travel. But yeah, now I'm so hooked, and I have probably I have 16 trees already.
Wow.
Some, of course, I regret buying this. I had no clue, right, when I bought the first few trees. But now my worry is that watering it is a lot of work. And that's fine. I enjoy it. But my worry is that when I need to travel again, what do I do? Do I take it to like a nursery and have them? Or do I have friends? But then you can't really trust friends, I guess, with watering these trees. Or do I get an automated system? A watering system.
Automated. That's
what do you
Somebody
use?
tell him about drip systems and so forth.
Okay. Is there anything particular you'd recommend? I've been looking at this blue mat and, is there any particular system you'd recommend?
Well, let's start off with the basic. Do you have a sprinkler system or any automated system already at the house?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So for like the backyard, right? The lawn.
Yes. So is it a regular sprinkler, like a sprinkler head, or is it
Yes.
Okay.
It's
So the easiest start, especially if it's temporary, you can just put it on your lawn. I've done that a couple of times before I put a sprinkler system in or a drip system in. So if you're in a pinch and if your plants are small enough and they can get enough water just by putting it on the lawn, that's the easiest solution for very short term. Another idea you may want to look at is some of the videos. Have you visited our YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, I mean all the time. Which is awesome. So
if you look at some of our members, their system they have, that gives you some ideas how you can set up your sprinkler system.
Okay.
If you look at Peter Mackersey, he has a reverse overhead. So he has a sprinkler system, but it's hung from the ceiling. So that's how he sprays or waters his trees, his shohin trees.
Is this the guy in West Covina?
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, I saw that video, but it didn't talk about. I mean, I noticed there's like sprinklers overhead.
Correct. So that's one way you can look at it. Another way you can look at it is you can look at Shirley's video. Shirley video has a drip system. So that's a dedicated system to water each tree or a group of trees using a drip system. So that's another thing you can look at. So those are like the two really main themes of watering by irrigation. So you can use it by overhead sprayer, and that hits all your trees at one time, but it's not direct. Or you can do the drip system. It's much more direct for each tree, and you can customize that volume of water and per tree.
Okay. I mean, I've seen some videos too where they have like they can control it, you know, on the phone. So if
Joe has one.
You're like,
I have one.
Oh, you really? Okay.
I did have a video coming out for irrigation just because during the move, I might not put that out. But I do have a newer system in this house now, so I might re-record everything again. But yeah, okay. John's in the chat says automate everything. It's the only bad part about automating your system is Mike can talk about this one. You miss that connection with your trees, because you know when you walk out daily, you look at your trees, you can catch infestation really quickly. You can catch pest. You know something like I have a squirrel that runs by in the backyard. I can catch that if there's a broken branch. So there's some benefits of watering your tree daily, or not daily, but weekly. So the development of your tree over a long period.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean I don't mind watering the trees. It's just
when you're traveling.
I have to go on vacation for a couple of weeks or so. That's where now I worry about these things. And my wife worries now too, because she says, "Okay, now we're not going on vacation at all. You want to stay with your trees."
Anybody else have suggestions?
So,
one other thing.
I'd like to talk to Hubert about it. Be careful about how you pot your plants. So this spring, when it comes time to repot your trees and get them ready, you should visit Lindsay or somebody who's got a lot of experience with that and look and see what's a good soil mix, because that'll help a lot with how your watering goes.
Okay. Yeah. I do plan to, I probably would go to, I've been taking lessons actually at Roy's, in Roy's Nursery in Silmar. So I do have like a few trees to repot, and I think I might go there. But definitely, I need somebody to teach me how to repot correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
Where do you live?
Roy should know.
I live near Studio City.
Oh, okay. You're close to Mike.
Okay. Mike Kelly, are you there, Mike Kelly, drinking a beer?
Mike.
Did he go mute or did he leave?
So Hubert, that's Mike Kelly. He lives in Studio City also. He has his own little video if you want to look at his backyard.
Hi, Hubert. We're in Studio City.
Oh, really? Wow.
We're in Studio City.
Awesome. I live very close to Universal.
Oh,
like
okay.
a couple blocks, maybe 3 blocks away.
Oh my God, you're near me.
Oh crap! You live in the neighborhood too, Manuel?
Oh yeah.
Hey Joe, I'm gonna come live with you and Tom.
I'm off of
Time to move, huh?
Alex,
I'm moving.
We're in the same area.
House for sale. I'm moving to Ontario or wherever you guys at.
I'm not there yet. Working on it.
I am.
Yeah, Thomas. Yeah.
While we have Kevin here. Kevin, we want to congratulate you on getting married. Is your wife with you right now?
No, she's not actually. Thank you for the congratulations, though. I just finished a parent-teacher conference, so I was listening on my phone. I went from one Zoom meeting to this one here. But yeah, no, thank you so much for that. I'll let her know you guys said.
Hey, congratulations, man.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is what happens. I text Kevin out of the blue and say, "Hey, Kevin, you ever going to join our meetings anymore?" And it's like, "Hey, but I'm never getting the newsletter." And I went, "What happened?" So I told Shirley. Shirley like, "He hasn't been joining membership for a year." I texted him, "Hey, buddy, join membership."
There we go.
we bring people back to the fold, man.
I paid up right away once Tom sent those guys to take out my kneecaps. I paid up immediately.
What's up, Kelly? After you?
Oh, so Talk about the Zoom meeting. I know some of you guys probably, if we ever go back to face-to-face, would you guys like this channel to be live still? So we can actually, some people don't need to drive in. Do you guys want that as an option? Some people said no. I mean, it's not hard. It just sets a I can just set a laptop and just run it through hotspot it from there, and we can just have it there. But the only problem is no one will be moderating it. If you have a question, you need to speak up, probably loud enough so someone can hear it. That's kind of the only concerns that I would have. But yeah, that's not a big deal. That's pretty easy setup when we go back to face-to-face. Question is, when we'll go back to face-to-face will be the ultimate question at this point. Shirley or Ken, did we have any notification that we may go back to face-to-face in December? I know February is out already.
I don't know.
Natty.
Yep. And that's the same status quo, everybody. And make sure you guys stock up on your toilet paper because, my wife. This is crazy. Anybody else has any questions? I'm sorry, I bird walked. Anybody any questions or things they want to show off? Mike, your fingers are showing off. Your goatee of security.
Question about this oak. I have a question.
Go for it, Paul.
So I have this cork oak, and the branches are growing. It's doing pretty good.
Wow.
And I just want to get more branching, like changing directions. So I was just wondering if it's a good time to prune it now, or should I do it all at once? Should I let it just hang out and prune it in the spring?
So I have quite a bit of experience with cork oaks, and I know Lindsay does too. It depends on
lies.
What's that?
Lies! I tell you, you have no experience with cork oaks.
I don't.
He's messing with you.
So it depends on how big you want that to be in the end. I mean, if you're comfortable with that as the size that you're going for, then you should start pruning it and shaping it right now. If you're looking for something that's going to be a little bit larger over time, then what you might want to do is later on in the winter or early spring, put that into a box and set it out on some gravel in a nice quiet place and feed and water the hell out of it and let it just run and just shape it and let it go. So it all depends on how big you want your final product to be.
Yeah. My space is small, so I'd probably just keep it small, not much bigger than this.
Hold it up again.
Go big. Go big.
Go big?
Go big. Go big or go home. Or your homework.
That's got some pretty nice shape already if I'm looking at the front. So, if you'd like, I'd be happy to help you with that.
Cool. Yeah. I'll take the help. Thank you.
Anybody else?
What kind of dog do you have?
Oh, this one. So he's very sweet. He's Tyrant. He's ready to go to bed. We don't know what he is.
Oh, he's adorable.
We thought he was a toy poodle. Hey, he no toy poodle. I'll tell you that. He's no toy poodle. People think he's like a lab, but he's too small to be a lab.
So well behaved.
Oh yes, it's
Past his bedtime.
It's a good temperament. Really good temperament. Anybody else? Comments, statements, things great for the good?
Hubert, I put the link to join up in the chat.
Yeah, I see it. Thank you.
Cool. And also, this
Hubert.
is my ginkgo.
Hubert, this is Mike Kelly. Did you get my message with my phone number?
Mike Kelly. Oh yeah, got it.
Okay. Give me a call and I'll help you with the irrigation system. But just don't tell Manuel.
You mean you're gonna help? Like, come over and water while I'm gone?
No.
Just kidding.
Well, it depends. It depends.
If you want to keep your trees, then probably not a good idea.
I'm unemployed again, so I have plenty of time.
Anybody else have any questions or statements?
I have a question.
Go for it, Ken.
I have a juniper. Why all of a sudden it turns pale and yellow? Can you explain? Yeah,
That's a Lindsay question.
Yeah, it turns like pale and yellow all of a sudden.
What kind of juniper is that?
Turn on your audio, Lindsay. Turn on your audio.
It's nanas.
Oh.
Is it yellow through the whole plant or just kind of speckly?
On the tip.
Oh, on the very tip?
Yeah.
Is it crispy? Is it crispy on the tip?
Not yet. Not crispy. Still, but the bottom is still green. And
down inside, it's still green.
Yeah, I mean the bottom and the inside are still green. And the last time I fertilized it was October. So,
what do you have it planted in?
What's that?
What do you have it planted in?
About a year. Yeah, I don't know why all of a sudden it does this.
Well, it's not going to hurt to spray it with an oil spray.
Spray.
For spider mites, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that. Make sure it's really covered with a oil spray that you could use during the warm season, and hit it a couple times, maybe 2 or 3 weeks apart.
Mm-hmm.
And keep an eye on it. And you fed it a month ago?
Yes. I don't think it's the fertilizer. It's probably some insect, I think.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, some insect. Because if it were, like, say, even if it were, lack of water or something, it'd be pretty uniformly kind of, damaged, and more so where the sun's hitting. But, so down below it looks healthy. The foliage looks healthy.
Yeah, the bottom looks healthy. Only the top.
Yeah, go ahead.
But it's kind of getting down. It's getting down.
Yeah, I'd go ahead and spray it a couple times. With an oil.
What kind of oil spray?
They have one called ultrafine oil spray, or summer. I think they call it summer oil spray or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But something that because they don't make that Volk oil anymore, so that would be a bad one to use anyway. But one that you can use during the growing season for spider mites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, try that. Let's see.
I got a question about that too, because now I experienced some insects, so I got this neem oil. Is that okay to use? I mean, I just Googled it and said neem oil is good for all spider mites and all these other types of insects, and but it's
neem oil is not really that good for during when it's hot. Now it's okay. When it's hot, it's not real good, but over say 89 or 90. But it's not neem oil's for sucking insects like aphids and scale and mites. But if it's a chewing insect, then you use something else.
I see.
Yeah.
Something that works really well also, and I've seen it super cheap, is Dawn soap. Believe it or not, even the the University of California of Agriculture, I actually bumped into them at a booth at a fair. They actually, I kept it because it has reference to their website, and they promote that because it actually works, especially with a lot of the insects that they breathe through their skin. You basically kill them by just dousing them with soap, and it's biodegradable. It's safe for your plants, and it's cheap too. Just something worth Googling, I say. I'll put the link towards the actual university's website, and if you want, I'll even give you pictures of the pamphlet from them as well.
What kind of soap again, Gio?
Dawn soap.
Dawn, oh yeah, it's pH balance, 7.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to be careful which one you use though, because not all of their formulas are the same.
Home Depot. Ooh. Yeah, I have that one, Jonathan. If you're reading the chat, Jonathan put a link to Home Depot for spider mites and pests. It's an all-season horticultural oil. If you're in the chat, you're gonna look at that.
That's a good. That sounds like a good.
Publish it too.
All righty. Any other questions? Oh,
I have one, Lindsay. Lindsay, I guess that's for everybody. Do you water large cascades differently than you would a regular bonsai? Does the bottom, because I use the third mix, and I've got a rather large cascade pot. So does the water go through it as the same as it would a shallower pot if you use that same soil? Does gravity help pull the water through?
Yeah. Yeah. Is it the same soil all the way through?
Yeah. Same soil I use on all my trees.
But I mean, from top to bottom in that cascade?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's relatively, we planted it, we probably repotted it around maybe February.
Okay.
So do you water your cascades any differently?
Well, you know, sometimes in a deep pot, a real deep pot, like a Kengai or Han Kengai pot, you may want to use a coarser mix at maybe the bottom 20%, a fairly coarse mix, because you really want to encourage the moisture to stay up where the roots are, the crown of the roots are. So if you have a same kind of mix all the way from top to bottom, what's going to happen, the gravity is going to pull that moisture down toward the bottom and stay moistured there than up on top. If you have a coarser mix at the bottom, then and finer as it goes up, then that water tension on the soil particles will keep water up higher to the top. And that's what you kind of want to try to achieve. Sometimes if it stays too wet on the bottom, it'll rot the roots. So
it's pretty thick with the roots. The roots are pretty thick. When we repotted it, they were quite, I'd say roots are probably 3/4 of the way down the pot.
Okay. Last February.
Yeah. I just wondered because I spray everything, and this time of year I usually use a moisture meter.
Yeah.
To kind of find out whether the trees need it or not. Because some of my trees are in bonsai soil and some are just in kind of a regular nursery can stuff.
Okay, well, so if you're using that moisture meter, just make sure that the upper third of the pot is where you want it to be, where you want the moisture to be. Because if you kind of put it down too far, then the top part's going to dry out.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so yeah.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, you had a question there?
Yeah. So in addition to recently getting married, I'm also in the process of moving from East LA to Pico Rivera. And yeah, right. And where I'm moving, we're immediately adjacent to the riverbed, the San Gabriel riverbed, and some railroad tracks. So I'm surrounded on two sides by like squirrel heaven, right? Territory. And I know some of you guys have some experience. I see Jonathan laughing. I've been to your place, so I know why you're laughing. Lindsay, I'm sure you deal with this as well, and many of you other guys. I haven't moved my plants over there yet, but I'm really worried about the squirrel population, and I'm wondering what your guys' experience is with it, what you've done about it, and what you would recommend. Yeah, just say I'm already thinking like you, Tom, but maybe not. I don't know. What other tips do you guys have to prevent squirrels from getting? Wow, I do. I have on top of everything, I have a 5-month-old German short-hair pointer puppy.
Oh, there you go.
But I have to. I'm worried about her getting into them because she has so much energy and she could jump. And if she sees a squirrel up there, she's gonna go after it and go down the whole row and knock everything down. So I'm intentionally keeping my trees away from her because of that other problem, right? So just look at it as like I'm in a squirrel infested area with no dog, even though there's one there. But what tips do you guys have? What do you guys do about it?
Don't use rat poison. I have experience. I have a $300 bill on that one, so don't try that. My dog had ingested rat poison before, so yeah, don't do that, especially if you have a dog. So I'll give you that hint for sure. Just don't do that. I'll save you $300 there by yourself.
I have more of a cat problem than a squirrel problem. I have squirrels too, but I put bungee cords on all the plants because they keep jumping on them and toppling over.
Kind of secure them to the table.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Geico commercial. I got a rat problem.
But you guys haven't had any problems with the squirrels actually damaging the trees themselves by, I don't know, gnawing on them, trying to just go up there, or even damaging your irrigation lines?
I have more problems with rats gnawing on the trunks. It's not, well, for me, it's not the squirrels, it's the rats. So,
well, I imagine there's plenty of those there too. So I mean, yeah, again, it's just, adjacent to the riverbed and railroad tracks. It's pretty wide open space, but there's pests there for sure.
Yeah. Well, there's those electric, battery operated rat traps. Have you seen those? It shocks them, and you could put those on the benches. For
That's a good one.
For rats, anyway. They won't hurt your dog.
Get a gun.
Can't get in there.
Well, the dog will eat the dead rat. I have rats, and I trap them in a live trap, and then I put them in the car and take them to the dog park and let them go because I don't want any poison in my yard.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
I used to drop them off at Joe's house, but he moved. No, if you trap them live, then you don't have to worry about your dog eating them, and you're thinning out the squirrel and the rat population by just taking them somewhere else. Taking them, I just kind of take them to somebody else's yard.
To the dog park. That's interesting.
Lindsay, you want some squirrels?
I haven't done it yet, but some people use.
Are they gray squirrels or are the brown squirrels or red squirrels?
They're the ground squirrels. They're more of like a gray color.
No, the gray ground squirrels.
Yeah.
What they're gonna cause more damage is like gophers. They're gonna actually start tunneling underneath. So that's something that you need to start thinking about. So they'll have a population that grows underground versus the tree squirrels that you see, which is the brown or what we call the red squirrels. But if you go back Appalachian Mountains, they have squirrel meat. So it's something to think about too.
Well, wait a minute. You mentioned gophers. There's tons of gophers there too. Are you talking about just like the integrity of the soil that I might have my benches on, as opposed to, okay, so I don't have to worry about them coming up and gnawing on the trunks or anything? Just making sure. I didn't think so.
I did see a couple. I had one male Princip persimmon, and it gnawed a good inch of its bark off. So you do have to worry about squirrels gnawing on your trees, but as Lindsay says, I see more rat damage than anything else. But I have some fruit trees now, so they're going after the fruit versus the trees. So it's supply and demand. So yeah, I don't know. Good luck with that one. It's like what's that one movie with John Candy with the squirrel? The squirrel or
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. Thank you. Yes, that's what you're gonna be like.
I mean, I would say it also depends. Like for me, like I have troubles with animals on my deciduous trees only. Like they don't go after my pines or my junipers, and that's just my observation at my house. So, like for my deciduous or things that I really care about, like if I have a really nice deciduous, like some people create cages around it. Like, you get some chicken wire and you can shape it and put it around that and just kind of cage it up in general. Like I've seen and heard people do that. But yeah, like just so that they can get to that particular one in a way to keep it stable. But
yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for all your tips. Appreciate it.
So when are you moving, Kevin?
Oh man, don't give me. We're remodeling. We took down walls. We're waiting for our cabinets to go in. The lighting. It's been months, but we're actually probably about 3-4 weeks away from getting in there. So
yeah, Joe could give you some tips on that.
Yeah.
Check your refrigerator filter.
Yeah.
Check your
All righty, kids. It sounds like we're almost done. Anybody have any questions before we go for the raffles for tonight? Oh, John says, John, it's a good repellent. Any good repellents? Bear pee? I don't know. Cat pee?
Let's see. Yeah, there's
mountain lion pee? I don't know.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, there's coyote urine. There's some different ones that have. Gosh, yeah. Maybe go to a nursery and see if there's some. Because I've used some where it's like a meal, and I'll put it in a little like a pot pie tin or something around different on the benches, and that seems to help too. They're smell deterrents, I guess. But go to a good nursery and see if they have anything like that.
Anyone use a pellet gun?
Yeah, pellet gun. That's a good idea.
Well, Lindsay, what do you have? What did you just buy? An airsoft?
Oh, I just got a 22 rifle.
You're gonna blow them away.
Yeah. I got these quiet bullets, so it sounds like a pellet gun.
Oh my goodness! Oh, don't shoot someone. Don't shoot someone. Go to jail. That's what matters. Dude, you're in Pico Rivera. You can have a gun. It's okay, man. You're in the hood. You're with everybody else. It's normal. What are you talking about?
Shoot, I'm in East LA now, and
Dude, man.
no, actually, I got my puppy. She's a pointer, so any bird hunters out there, let's connect.
All righty, sounds like we're almost done for tonight. And anybody else for raffles? I'll put the link on the board. We have 3 items, if I'm correct. Shirley, is that correct? We have 3 items up for grabs today?
Yes. I can't find my pictures.
It's okay, just describe them.
You got an elm and a pot, correct?
Yes. And I think another elm. I can't remember.
All righty. We'll give people another 5 more minutes and we end the show. Again, our next meeting will be December the 17th, and put that in your calendar, everybody. Will be a bingo night. We'll have some prizes up to grab. Of course, we're going to sell bingo cards. So if you like more than your complimentary bingo card, please go ahead and purchase them. This is a great time for social hour. It is our replacement for our, well, not replacement, it's a substitution currently for our Christmas party, which we're not having this year. So again, put that in your calendar. December 17th is a Thursday. It's a bingo night, basic social hour, good times and fun. And I think Gio is gonna learn, or actually she's gonna run us through it. So he's gonna be our lead for that night. Some fun night. So again, show up. We're probably gonna open that up for I think let's see how many people will show up. I'll start contacting people. But yeah, it'll be a great time to hang out with everybody. Bingo night. Anything else? And any announcements? While Greg gets me the names for tonight. Ken, are you traveling anywhere?
No.
Wait, Ken, when am I ever going to make a video of you doing your drawings, man? When's that going to happen?
Okay. Well, we can talk about that. Yeah.
You're saying that too. Mike, are you almost ready for your debut for your trees?
What's that?
Michael Robert, are you ready for your debut for your trees?
Oh, sure. Whenever you're ready, Tom.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying that until I knock on the door, like, no, I'm not ready.
I just painted this.
Well, you've got my phone. Send me a text like how you want to do.
Check the other.
Perfect.
He'll do like he did me. He just shows up.
No, I didn't show. I called you like an hour before.
Yeah, right.
Oh, God.
I'm on my way.
Oh, ooh,
look at that.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like the insect and the flower.
That's a hibiscus flower. That's well done.
Thank you.
Is that a Rosa Sharon?
I don't know the name of it.
Oh.
I thought that hibiscus though, but
It looks like hibiscus, yes.
Yeah, Rosa Sharon is hibiscus family.
Mm-hmm.
It's a grasshopper.
So we have our raffle tonight is 2 pots and an elm. One is a blue and white pot, one's a black pot, and then of course the elm.
Okay, it's 2 pots and the elm. I just found it. Okay.
2 what? I'm sorry.
2 pots. Here, you can look at my phone.
I'm gonna take off, you guys. I'll see you soon.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't figure out how to use the cube, Tom. So I'm not going to participate, I guess.
Just throw money at Shirley. Just throw money at the screen. That's all you need to do.
All right, you see it? There's a black pot, and then there's the middle is a blue and white pot, and the top one is elm.
Look at that. All righty. All right, Greg, you ready for me?
Yeah, check your text.
I see.
Yeah, that's that pepper jelly that he made.
Got it.
I thought it would be good with it, and it was.
Oh, you guys are eating. Stop eating, man. I'm jealous. All right, last call. Last call for raffle tickets. Last call for raffle tickets before I put names in. So far we got Paul and Paul. And we got Mitch. Mitch. Any last calls? Going once? Twice? Do some shuffle. All right, for the what's it?
The top is the elm.
For the elm first, thank you. I'll spin the pot. Ooh. Winner is Paul wins the elm.
Yay!
Yay.
Hey, all right.
Hey, now you got an elm now. Now let's remove. All right, and this is for the blue and white pot. Blue and white pot. I think it's over to Mitch. There goes to Mitch. Blue and white pot. And last but not least, the black pot. Oh, look at this. Who would it be? Things can go to Mitch. There we go. All righty. So Paul gets the elm, Mitch gets the blue white pot, and the black pot at the same time.
Well, I wanted to say something. I got, May McNee. You remember who May McNee is? Or was?
Yes.
She passed away. Jerry McNee?
Yeah, Jerry McNee's wife.
Yeah. Anyway, her son, Garrett, gave me a bunch of things that they collected, bonsai books and magazines and all that. So we'll have to use those in the raffle. Some are really nice books. So, and some hoppy coats and things. So, but yeah, so I got they're collecting now in my shed. I got all these boxes of stuff that our club could utilize for raffles.
You want to bring them with you to the photo shoot, and I can just distribute them with the raffle prizes?
Yeah, maybe before then there's something, because I'm going to have a truckload full of stuff, right? So,
Okay.
well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, maybe I could do that. I'll bring the big truck.
You know where I live.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get them to you.
Okay.
All righty. I think that's it, everybody. If you guys want to help out, you want to email Shirley that if you guys have some time you want to help out for the photo shoot, we don't mind. We're going to limit the amount of help that we can get, but any help will be helpful at this point, especially going into moving the trees and getting ready for the photo shoot. And then our next meeting will be December 17th. That'll be bingo night. So bring your dollars, people. We're able to play and have some fun. And then on that, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It will be next week. So if you forgot, hope you guys stay safe with your immediate family. Try not to get sick. Try to stay healthy. Until next time we meet, everybody. Good night, and thank you for everybody showing up.
Good
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey, Shirley, you staying on?
I can.
Okay. What are the dates again on the photo shoot?
January 9th and the 19th, I think it is.
Okay.
It's the week after that.
All right, I'm good.
I'll send you the information by email next week.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
if you have any questions, just ask me. But I think it's self-explanatory.
9th and 16th.
Okay. All right. Thank you.